So, Carlton, this is the part of the show where we look at some of the latest transfer stories. Of course, transfer season in full swing now. It's been quite a quiet summer to this point, but we are expecting it to accelerate following the European Championship. And let's start by talking about your club, West Ham, and Jesse Lingard, a player, of course, who excelled on loan at London Stadium, played a big part in West Ham qualifying for the Europa League, as you've already mentioned at least 5 times tonight. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer speaking after Manchester United beat Derby 2-1 in a friendly earlier today, and he says that Jesse Lingard has told him that he wants to stay and fight for his place at Old Trafford. What do you make of that?
Disappointment, really. Look, we all know that we all want to be... When I was younger, I wanted to stay at Chelsea for yonks and fight for my place. But if they see him as a peripheral player, wouldn't you want to go and be the main man somewhere else? That's the way I look at it. He's done brilliant last season, and he's had some good seasons at Man United. But I think he's outgrown that position the way they look at him now. I think he's a bigger player than that. I think he can go somewhere and be the main man. But it's up to him on what his ambitions in life are, you know. We're talking about another scenario where, like, say, Declan Rice, what's his ambitions? Does he want to go to a Man United? But obviously, you got the other way around as well. Someone that's been a bit part player wanting to go and be the main man elsewhere. So it depends what perspective you look at football and what you want as a player. For me, I think he should just go and fill his boots at West Ham.
Before Darren Ambrose comes in, if I was Manchester United and I was to come to you, Carlton Cole, your chief executive of West Ham, and I said...
Yeah, we can pretend. Come on, let's go.
Okay, so here's Jesse Lingard,
yep,
plus 70 million,
mm-hmm,
and you give us Declan Rice.
Ooh. I would say, do you know what? I'd probably take it. I'd probably take it because it's a fair deal, I think, and I think we can get another player in. Probably get Calvin Phillips in. Obviously not, that wouldn't happen. But
someone's just tweeted that, actually. Toby has said, I wouldn't mind seeing Calvin Phillips at Manchester United next season.
Oh, really?
At Manchester United.
Ooh.
I mean, you've got to accept that. If you're West Ham, you're having to accept that. I agree.
You'll accept it, definitely.
I look at Jesse Lingard and I think, is it a comfort thing that he's going back to Manchester United and he's going to stay up there with his family, etc.? Because he had such a fantastic time at West Ham. I think.
Well, it got him into the England squad, didn't it?
Nearly got in the squad for the Euros. He wasn't far away, was he?
What was it? 9 goals in 16 appearances. I mean, that's incredible form. And 22 games last season for Man United. This season, none in the Premier League. So
he's got to back himself, isn't he? He's got to go smaller. Not smaller, but a team that is going to play regularly.
I mean, he's backing himself by thinking about going back to Manchester United and competing. But I wonder if these signings, Jadon Sancho comes in, maybe 1, 2 more, who knows who's going to come in, might convince him to go, you know what, it's about time that I move on.
And they're going to have to trim the wage bill, Manchester United. If they are going to sign 3, 4 players this summer, then inevitably people will have to move on.
I was hearing rumours that he's signing a new deal, or has he signed a new deal?
There was a possibility that maybe he would sign a new contract, but I think in United's case that might be more about protecting his transfer value.
If a manager's not having you know this, Coley, it doesn't matter how well you've done going away. You come back, you put one performance in that you don't like, he's not having you again.
Yeah.
So it'll be a strange decision if he decides to stay, and I think it'll be a comfort thing more than actually that he's looking to play.
Darren Ambrose, I know you are a studious observer of the Championship. One player from that division who is attracting lots of interest is the Blackburn striker Adam Armstrong. I know Southampton are keen on him at the moment. They feel the price tag, £20 million, is what Blackburn are looking for a player in the last year of his contract. Is too rich for them. Norwich have inquired as well. And now Watford, we're hearing, newly promoted, could also be ready to put some money on the table for Adam Armstrong. Would that be a good signing for one of those clubs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, 28 goals in 40 Championship games last season. I mean, I'm not going to take the credit. One of the guys behind the glass told me that it points to, or goals to minutes ratio, better than Ivan Toney. So, you know, he's obviously an out-and-out goal scorer. He's got good ability. He's had some good seasons in the Championship. Premier League didn't quite work well with Newcastle, but you know, he was young, so he's gone away. He's learnt his trade. And these 3 clubs, I look at the 3: Watford, Norwich, Southampton. You'd have to say Southampton potentially with Danny Ings. Who knows what's going to happen to him? Is he going to move on? If he goes, it opens a slot up perfectly for Armstrong to fit right in there.
Well, he's Danny Ings wants to leave, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's
He was
expressed
looking that way.
he's expressed a desire.
If a big club comes in for him, and that hasn't happened so far, I should stress that there's still been not a single inquiry.
Where's he going to go, though? Where's he going to go?
Well, he's got his sights set on Manchester United or Manchester City. I'm not sure either of those two clubs are going to start banging on the door.
So he wouldn't go to West Ham because West Ham need a striker?
I don't believe so.
No, he wouldn't do it.
What was the talk with Spurs?
Is he playing in Europe?
I said big club, Darren Ambrose. Let's not be silly.
We started that chestnut.
You mentioned Ivan Toney there, and I was going to ask you, Carlton, maybe when you were playing, there was a bit of a reluctance from Premier League clubs to take players, particularly strikers, from the Championship. Has that changed now? Because Ollie Watkins has gone in and done well at Aston Villa. Patrick Bamford had an incredible season at Leeds when many people didn't think he could make the step up. So do you think clubs now are going to be more willing to go for players like Armstrong?
I think it's always been a trend. Everyone wants to find the next diamond. Everyone wants to find the next person that can go and score goals. West Ham done it. We used to go into the Championship, get players. It just depends who suits, and especially nowadays, the amount of analysts there are in the game, they know who's going to suit what club, and they'll know if the club suits the player, and it doesn't matter if they're playing in the Championship or not. So I just think by getting someone like Armstrong, that's an out-and-out goal scorer, obviously, will be beneficial for any club. But as long as the style suits the club.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Listen, everyone wants to play in the Premier League. He's done it before with Newcastle. So if any one of them is an option, I think he'll look to take any of them.
Very quick final transfer one for this part of the programme. We will be having more transfer stories later in the show. Brentford closing in on a club record £13.5 million deal for the Celtic defender Christopher Ajer. This is significant for me, Darren Ambrose, because one of your former clubs, Newcastle, were heavily linked with Christopher Ajer earlier in the summer. If he's going to Brentford instead of Newcastle, what does that say about where that particular club are at this moment in time?
Well, look, Newcastle are on standstill at the moment, let's be honest. No one knows what's going on with the takeover. There's a lot of talks that it's happening, then it isn't happening. So they need to get that over the line. First and foremost, they need to get a takeover over the line, and then they can look to progress into the future. On the flip side, Brentford, I think they're going to be like Leeds last season. I think they're going to do a Leeds.
You think?
Yeah, I'm confident they can come and they can really make a push. I think I watched them a few times last season, positive, and the signing, $13.5 million already for a newly promoted side. They're showing some intent, and 23 I think this lad is, and the defence are aging a little bit in terms of going into the Premier League. So if they can sign him, one or two more, I think they'll have a good go.
Well, if you've got a striker like Ivan Toney at the moment that's scoring left, right and centre, and is confident and fancies himself in the Premier League, it'll be perfect for Brentford to stake a claim to stay in the Premier League for one more season, or, well, they're going to have to build on it. I think the defence needs to be built on, because I think they will leak goals. But with Ivan Toney in that team, they'll score a lot.
Friend of the boot room as well, Ivan Toney, so we wish him all the best for the new Premier League season.